Anna wiped the grease from her hands onto her already stained jumpsuit and squinted at the maintenance drone, hovering near Bay 7's eastern bulkhead. The little Zithian repair unit had been circling the same panel for the past 20 minutes, its sensor array flickering in what she'd learned to recognize as confusion. "Still stuck, buddy?" she called out, though she knew the drone, designated K1 van by its makers but called Keyvan by the human crew, wouldn't respond to casual conversation. The Zithians had designed their automated repair units for efficiency, not chit-chat. Keyvan's spherical body rotated, his 3 articulated arms extending and retracting in a pattern that suggested frustration. Anna had worked alongside enough alien tech to know when something was genuinely broken versus when it was simply out of its depth. This was the latter. The Consolidated Mechanics Station orbiting Proxima Centauri b housed representatives from 17 different species, each bringing their own approach to spacecraft maintenance. The Zethians, crystalline beings who thought in pure mathematics, had sent their drones instead of coming themselves. Made sense. Why risk organic life when you could send perfectly programmed machines? Except their perfectly programmed machines kept getting stuck on human vessels. Anna approached the panel, her magnetic boots clanking against the metal floor. "Let me guess. You've run diagnostics 47 times, checked every circuit pathway, verified all connections, and found absolutely nothing wrong." Keyvan's sensor array brightened, a sign of acknowledgement. The drone projected a holographic readout that Anna had learned to interpret over the past 6 months. Sure enough, all systems nominal. Every specification within acceptable parameters. 0 errors detected. Yeah, that's what I thought. Anna pulled out her multi-tool and popped open the panel with practiced ease. Inside, the quantum flux distributor hummed softly, its crystalline matrix glowing a healthy blue. To any scanner, it would read as perfectly functional. She reached past it to the component behind, a simple mechanical relay that had been standard in human ships for the past 50 years. It was old-fashioned, arguably obsolete, but human engineers kept including them as backup systems. The relay itself was fine, but the connection housing showed the telltale signs of thermal expansion stress. "There's your problem," Anna said, tapping the housing. "This connection works, but it's not working well. In about 3 days, it'll fail completely and shut down the entire distributor array." Keyvan's sensors focused on the component. His holographic display updated, showing Anna's assessment as unverifiable. "No diagnostic parameters exist for this failure mode." "That's because you're looking for problems that exist now," Anna explained, even though she knew the drone's translation matrix probably couldn't process the nuance. "Human mechanics, we look for problems that are about to exist. It's called preventative maintenance, not reactive maintenance." She pulled the housing free and examined it more closely. "See these microfractures? Your sensors probably can't even detect them. They're too small, too subtle. But I've been doing this for 15 years, and I can feel the difference in the weight distribution. I can see the slight discoloration from heat stress. I can smell when insulation is breaking down before it actually breaks." Keyvan processed this information silently. Anna had noticed something interesting about the Zithian drones over the months working alongside them. They were learning. Not just updating their databases, but genuinely adapting their approach. The Zithians themselves might think in pure mathematics, but their machines were developing something that almost resembled intuition. "You know what your people are missing?" Anna continued, working the replacement housing into place. "Inefficiency. You're so focused on optimal processes and perfect accuracy that you've eliminated all the weird, messy, illogical stuff that actually makes complex systems work long-term." She gestured around the bay at the various ships docked for maintenance. "Every species does this differently. The Vryn over-engineer everything with quintuple redundancies. The Kelthans use biological components that self-heal. The Morvani build everything modular so they can hot-swap components mid-flight. And humans? We build in failures." Keyvan's display showed a query symbol. "Yeah, you heard me right. We deliberately design systems that will eventually fail, but in predictable, manageable ways. We use materials that show stress before they break. We create warning signs that something's going wrong before it actually goes wrong. Because we're not smart enough or fast enough to fix things that break instantly." Anna secured the new housing and ran her own handheld diagnostic. The readings looked identical to before, which was exactly the point. "Your scanners will still say everything's nominal, but in 3 days, when this would have failed, it won't. And you'll never know the difference because the disaster that was going to happen won't happen. She closed the panel and stood back. That's the thing about human engineering. Half of what we do is invisible. It's not about the problems we solve, it's about the problems we prevent. And you can't scan for something that doesn't exist yet. Kevin hovered silently for a moment, his sensors sweeping over the panel one more time. Then something unprecedented happened. The drone's manipulator arm extended and lightly tapped the panel twice, mimicking the gesture Anna had made earlier when identifying the problem. A holographic message appeared. Query: can this unit observe human diagnostic methodology? Anna grinned. You want to learn how to think like a human mechanic? Sure, buddy. Fair warning, though. It's going to seem really inefficient and illogical at first. We use words like feels wrong and doesn't sound right and something seems off. We trust our gut as much as our instruments. She pulled up the maintenance schedule on her datapad. But I'll tell you what. Every ship in the station that's maintained by human mechanics has a 40% lower critical failure rate than ships maintained by pure AI systems. The Zethians noticed it in their statistical analysis last quarter. That's why they're sending drones like you to learn from us, isn't it? Kevin's acknowledgement light pulsed. Thought so. Anna headed toward the next bay, Kevin following close behind. Come on then. Bay 9 has a Kelthani freighter with an engine that's reading fine on all diagnostics, but I heard a rattle 3 days ago that shouldn't be there. Let's see if you can learn to hear what's not supposed to be there. As they walked, Anna smiled to herself. The galaxy was full of species more advanced than humanity, with better technology, faster ships, and more sophisticated systems. But somehow, the messy, intuitive, inefficient human approach to fixing things had become invaluable. Sometimes the best solutions weren't logical. Sometimes they were just human.